to be strong, no matter what goes on. Hold up your heads and time to move on. It's not easy. Life is not easy. No matter what they do, they will laugh and talk with you, then turn around and try to hurt you. It's not easy. Be strong. Life is not easy. Hold up your heads and time to move on. It's not easy. Send me an angel. Life is not easy. Cast all my sins away as I kneel and pray. Yahweh, send me an angel today. Cast all my sins away as I kneel and pray. As I kneel and pray. Yahweh, send me an angel today. Cast all my sins away as I kneel and pray. Yahweh, send me an angel today. Cast all my sins away as I kneel and pray. I am not ashamed to praise my Father's name. Put Major Riley in the Hall of Fame is not easy. Life is not easy. Life is in a mess. We have to do our best to alleviate the stress. The truth we possess is not easy. Life is not easy. Yahweh, send me an angel today. Cast all my sins away as I kneel and pray. Yahweh, send me an angel today. Cast all my sins away as I kneel and pray. Yahweh, send me an angel as I kneel and pray.
Oh, Father, each day I pray you guide my way. And lead me not into temptation. Please deliver me, Yahweh. Ooh, yeah. Let me be strong in your word. Let your truth be heard. But you're my strength and my shield. The sound of your voice makes the universe yield. Oh, yeah. I said Yahweh's here on his throne to lead his children safely home. Glory. Glory, hallelujah, yeah. Wherever you lead me, Father, I will follow. Let my roots grow deep, deep, deep. It's not shallow. Oh, yeah. Yahweh is here. Oh, Israel, have no fear. Don't you know that summer is nigh?
The Nation of Yahweh presents The Unfolding Light. Today's show is brought to you by Builders of the Highway Foundation, Yahweh Life Center, Neo Jazz School of Music, Yahweh Education Centers, and the Temple of Brothers and Sisters of Goodwill. And now for your host, Dr. Lud Yisrael.
Boker Tov and Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to the Nation of Yahweh's weekly teleconference, The Unfolding Light. I am your host, Dr. Lud, along with my co-host who's away from the studio this morning. Sister Tamar, are you there?
I am, Boker Tov and Shabbat Shalom, family.
Well, praise Yahweh. It is a great day to know Yahweh. It's a great day for Yahweh to continue to give you revelations of truth and justice and the nation of Yahweh way. So that's where we at, family. Today on Unfolding Light, we'll have Who is Yahweh by the Most Honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Directly after that, we'll have a keynote message from the master teacher, the founder of the Nation of Yahweh. And directly after that, we'll have the part where we all take part in unfolding the light, and we call it Power Talk. And now for our prayer. If we will all stand and face the east with outstretched hands, O Yahweh, God of our salvation, save us, gather us together, and deliver us from this heathen, so that we may give thanks to thy holy name and glory in thy praises. Blessed be the holy name of Yahweh and Yisrael forever. O Yahweh, let them be confounded that persecute us, but let not us be confounded. Let our enemies be dismayed, but let not us be dismayed. Bring upon our enemies the day of evil, and destroy them with double destruction. O Yahweh, forgive our fathers for breaking your laws, and please forgive us for breaking your laws. Help us to never bring shame upon thy great name, nor reproach against thy works. For surely we have turned ourselves to thee, O Yahweh, trying to be upright. And as we confess our faults, please grant us protection against all of our faults. Cleanse us of our secret faults, and guide us to the best of morals. For surely our prayers and our sacrifices, our lives and our deaths, are all for thee, O Yahweh. Tefillah. Avenu Shabbat Shemayim, Yikadesh Shemeaka, Tavo Malkuterika, Yad Zerizonka, Kim Vashemayim Kain Ba'aretz, Et Lekam Kukenu, Tain Lanu Hayom, Uslat Lanu, All Kartienu, Kimosa Sol King, Gamanatnu, Lakotiem Lanu, Veal Tevienu, Lade Nisayom, King Kal Senu, Min Hara, Kilaka, Hamamlaha, Veha Givera, Veha Tefieret, Leolame, Olamin Sila. We thank thee, O Yahweh, O living and eternal King, who has so mercifully restored our souls within us. So let everything that has breath praise Yahweh.
Remember that this is the morning of the third day, and I shall rise again. I am the resurrection. All of prophecy tells you that I shall rise again. It's all about that. Luke chapter 2, verse 34. No doubt about it. Again, I love you forever, bless you forever. I remind you once again, my associates are children of the light. That just brings laughter to my heart, to my soul, to realize that at last I have those of you that love peace. And I only want to be in the presence of those of you that love peace. I love you forever. Shalom Aleichem. Praise Yahweh.
So who is Yahweh? Yahweh is a name that you should know, because it's the duty of the Son of God to proclaim his Father's name. And here you have a whole bunch of people going to church, 400,000 churches, and they don't know the name of the Father. They say such silly things like, Father, God, help me. Both of them titles. Father is a title, God is a title. Who's going to answer to that? The purpose of the coming of the Son is to reveal the name of the Father. That's who he prayed to, our Father, and he called his name. He said, hallowed be, holy be thy name. How can it be holy to you and you don't know it? Interesting, isn't it? There are a lot more interesting questions than that about that situation. But when you begin to read your Bible, as I call this to your attention, you will discover from the Old Testament of Genesis all the way through Revelations, it's all about the name of the Father. It's all about his name. But somebody got you calling some other kind of name other than the Father's name. And you don't know his name. And unless you learn his name, then you're never going to move from poverty to riches. And if you don't come into the knowledge of the name. Haven't you ever wondered why it is that you have the same God, have the same churches and the same names that white people have? I mean, have you noticed? You do. Our people have the same, right? Isn't it strange how God always answers white people's prayers and black folks' prayers don't seem to be the same magnitude? You know, you say, well, I get my prayers answered. Well, why don't you ever get answered to be the ruler? I mean, you know, my people are always on their knees in front of white people asking white people to let them be accepted. Why do you need to ask white people for acceptance? Why don't you just ask God? Doesn't your God have enough power to make you accepted? Why can't you be the people that everybody else wants to be among? Why are you always running after somebody else to be among them? What's wrong with your God? Why do you have to go around always on your knees with your hat in your hand begging for a job from white people? Why don't your God just give you some jobs? Oh, I have to ask you some serious questions, because white people move from poverty to riches every day. Huh? They come from Russia, they come from Europe, they come from England, they come from all over the world with nothing on the ship. Come and get in your neighborhood. Come with a buggy and a basket and a wagon and push it around in your neighborhood and move from poverty to riches out of your pockets. You live in the neighborhood and stay poor and just pray all the time. You prayed enough to rule all the world. So who is Yahweh? Yahweh is the God of the Bible. He's the God of the Hebrews. In the beginning, Yahweh created the heavens and the earth. Yahweh is the man that beat up on Pharaoh. Y'all remember how he put plagues in Egypt? That was Yahweh did that. Yahweh is the one that when Pharaoh got real sassy, he drowned him in the Red Sea. That's Yahweh who did it. Yahweh is the man that when Daniel refused to bow down to another nation and quit facing the east and praying, when he refused to stop praying to his God, which was Yahweh, they said, well, we're going to put you in the lion's den and starve them. Threw him in the lion's den. Yahweh locked the jaws of the lion. Lions could do him no harm. Rulers got scared. Came and got Daniel out and made him a ruler. Right? I just want you to know who Yahweh is. He made the sun, the moon, the stars, all what you see and haven't seen. Okay. So who is Yahweh ben Yahweh? I am his son. I am his son. That's who I am. I am the son of Yahweh. I don't care who else is the son or who else they are. It makes me no difference. I'm not here tonight concerning myself with who is the son of who. I'm the son of Yahweh. I have to tell you who I am. Yahweh is my father. I am his son. What makes me his son? What makes me Yahweh's son is I do not have a will outside of his. I have no thoughts, no ideas, and no program outside of Yahweh. You'll find that all that I ever do, all that I've ever done, and all that I'm ever going to do is found right in the Bible, and it's traced right to his will. No exception. I take no credit for all that I have built. It's all in his name. Yahweh. That's one of the things that make me his son. Also, I have no difference in his word. I only speak his words. Even the words I've spoken to you thus far, the principles of those words are all in the Bible. Every single one of them is found in the Bible. No exceptions. So I walk as he says walk. I talk as he says talk. I act as he says act. I do whatever he says do. I have no idea of doing it any other way. Those are the things that makes me his son. I obey his laws, his statutes, his judgments, his commandments. That's why I'm successful. He said in his holy word that if I obey his laws, statutes, judgments, and commandments, that he would make everything, all the works of my hand would prosper. So all the works of my hands, it's prospering. I'm telling you why. Now, what about you? You might say, well, if you're the son of Yahweh, can I be? Of course you can. Of course you can be the sons of Yahweh. Every one of you can be. Every one of you can be the daughters of Yahweh. All you have to do is like I do. Obey his will, just like I do. You automatically become. You believe on his name, then you have eternal life. There's no other name under heaven that you can be saved in other than God who created it. You can't be saved in no name but the name of the one who created everything. And he gave his son a name higher than all the angels in heaven. What's the name higher than all the names that the angels could possibly have? The Father's name. There can be no name higher than the Creator's. So the son has to come in his father's name. Just like if your name is Davis, then your father was named Davis. If your name is Smith, your father's name was Smith. My name is Yahweh, so my father's name is Yahweh. That's logical.
Know and rest your mind assured. Our eyes have seen his works before. And until my last days, 'tis Yahweh I will praise. Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. I certainly like to thank the most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh for coming to us and teaching us who is Yahweh as no one else ever could do. Praise Yahweh. Also, I want to thank the most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh for teaching us our true history, which used to be the world's best kept secret. Praise Yahweh. And now a brief bio on the master teacher, the founder of the nation of Yahweh, the most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh. Yahweh ben Yahweh came to Miami, Florida alone in 1979 to become the spiritual leader and founder of the nation of Yahweh. Although he took a vow of poverty that same year, within 7 years, he guided the nation and those who followed his teachings and principles to amass an economic empire in the greater Miami area and throughout the United States worth over $250 million. Under his direction, the nation of Yahweh has grown to encompass disciples, followers, believers, and supporters in thousands of cities across the United States of America and indeed throughout the four corners of the earth. The University of Yahweh, for which he has established the curriculum and for which he has received great acclaim in educational excellence, currently has locations across the United States. The moral teachings of Yahweh ben Yahweh is bringing about a change in the lives of individuals and causing them to take a different approach to life. This approach is based on the scripture which reads, "It is more blessed to give than to receive." Yahweh ben Yahweh continues to give. That which he is given cannot be measured in monetary wealth. Yahweh ben Yahweh has given the world the keys to success in life politically, educationally, economically, socially, and spiritually. And now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the Grand Master of the Celestial Lodge, the architect of the universe, the blessed and only potentate, the founder of the nation of Yahweh. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh.
I'm building my kingdom with you who voluntarily receive me. Behold, I stand at your door and I knock. Some of you are sitting back in there, got your door all locked up, hollering out, who is it? I don't mind telling you, Yahweh ben Yahweh. And I'm calling out and saying, there's a terrible storm, it's a severe storm headed your way. And it's called the fall of Satan. And this is the time of Jacob's trouble. Your enemies do not want me to teach you how to move from poverty to riches. Do they know I'm able? Are they aware I know how? What's the proof? My works. So they know Yahweh ben Yahweh is not coming with a game. If I were coming with a game, I would be welcomed by everybody. But since I'm coming with the truth in the land, it means I'm coming with mercy. Where there is no truth, there is no mercy. Since I am the author of truth, I'm also the author of mercy. And since I come with mercy, I come with restoration powers. Verse 6, read.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God Yahweh, I will also forget thy children.
Proof of rejection is in verse 2. This is the condition of our people, that I come with mercy. Read.
By swearing and lying, and killing, and stealing, and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood.
Verse 3, read.
Therefore shall the land mourn, and every one that dwelleth therein shall languish.
Thank you. See what the condition of America is? It's not only America, but the world is in this condition. What condition? They languish. The whole world mourns. Well, that was promised. At my coming, that was promised. That the whole world would mourn. Matthew 24:30. At my coming, the world is in terrible condition. Blood, they breaking out with lying, profanity, swearing, cursing, blood touching blood, killing each other, drawing blood of one another. Read.
And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
That's going to take place October 7th. On October 7th, a sign is going to appear. Whose sign? My sign, Yahweh's sign. A sign shall appear, of the Son of Man. It's of me. Where? In heaven. That's where I live. I live in heaven. And when the earth see my appearance, and you better believe on October 7th, when I tell you the earth is going to be touched by me, huh? Yeah, oh yeah, the earth, nations are going to be touched directly by me. And then what's going to happen? Immediately, the whole what? The tribes of the earth shall rejoice. Why would the tribes of the earth mourn at the appearance of my sign? All the games are up. I'm going to do that. I'm the only one who has it in the mind to do that. No one has the idea to do what I'm about to do. No one, if they thought about it, knows how to go about doing what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do it in a perfect manner. And I'm going to do it in a sign of completion. And a baby is born in 9 months. And I'm going to speak in respect to the completion. And the number 9 will be prominent in what I have to say. And the earth will be touched. Whew, I'm trying to tell you. I don't wonder about this. Tonight you are hearing prophecy. Yes. I'm so determined to bring this off that as of this moment, I'm on a 21-day fast. I will eat no food for the next 21 days. Perfect sevens 3 times. 3 times 7 is 21. And all of you that moan over the lack of food for the next 24 hours, and who are going to rejoice at sundown tomorrow, you remember that I have 21 days to go. I'm really going to do 21 full, complete days, and I will not eat until after the event, until I speak October 7th, which is on another perfect day, 7. And you might think it's an accident, but it's on purpose. Yes, I may lose an awful lot of weight, but it will all be for you and the elect. It won't be easy. And I may need some of your help to get to the stage, but I'll be there. I plan to drink fruit juice and nothing else. And this is one of the most serious periods of my life. And I have an awful lot to think about. I have an awful lot to consider. And those around me who know me just a little bit have to be somewhat frightened, to say the least disturbed. And some of you have plans for me after these 21 days. You may even have plans for yourself. after these 21 days. And I can assure you, Yahweh really is God. And you are going to be best served if you accept that reality and let yourself be in accord with whatever Yahweh wills and decrees. And you'll find yourself at the marriage supper with me. But if you're going into this day of atonement with future plans to sin, you're in trouble.
Know and rest your mind assured. Our eyes have seen his works before. And until my last days, 'tis Yahweh I will praise. Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. Wow. What a deep message. What a message. You know, this message that Yahweh gave us today is just one of those messages that you have to think about. He talked about various things, but he said that the enemy don't want him to show us how to move from poverty to riches. That's if we look around the country and with the call for reparations and stuff, and you know how the enemy don't want to do nothing.
Dr. Lou,
Yes.
if you could turn the music down, it'd be a little bit better.
If I could, I would. I'm kind of locked into a screen right here for some reason, and I don't know how to get out of it. So we'll move on to our commercials, and then we'll be back for power. Shalom Aleichem, family. This YouTube channel needs your help. As you know, good works in this world will never be monetized. So I'm asking that the supporters, followers, true believers, and disciples of Yahweh to help this channel to continue to publish the good works and the fame of the Most High, Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. How much do you love Yahweh? Put your money where your heart is and be blessed. And now, your video.
Tensions are escalating between
Tonight, the drama in the courtroom is the so-called...
Tonight, an American mother and her child kidnapped in Haiti.
So we're going to start with the war in Ukraine, or actually start with
More military and intelligence officers say that
amidst the boom in artificial intelligence involving warehouses. Amidst the boom in artificial
I'm so
intelligence
sick of this. I want to go somewhere to find the truth and live a better life.
with critics of
Are you tired of the rat race that only leads to war, death, and destruction? Is there a solution? The nation of Yahweh is the solution to all the world's problems. Join us for a heavenly experience amongst the people of God. Come, be enlightened by the royal priesthood teaching priest in the beautiful city of Riviera Beach, Florida, September 29th through October 1st. All nations are welcome to attend. For more information, go to feastofyahweh.com. rescuing our future since 2004. From beginner to advanced. From melodies to mastery. From practice to performance. Neo Jazz School of Music, creating space for young people to express and to grow. Now with 2 locations, New Orleans and Miami. Enroll today at neojazz.org.
What do all these people have in common besides a beautiful smile, healthy teeth, and gums? They all use Zodi toothpaste. Zodi toothpaste is made with all natural ingredients. Zodi toothpaste is fortified with moringa and baking soda. Zodi toothpaste is suds-free, making it an excellent choice for kids. All natural, fortified, and suds-free. Get yours today at noystore.com. To enjoy perfect rest. To enjoy perfect sleep. To enjoy perfect peace. Primordial vibration. Subscribe today.
Praises unto Yahweh, and Yahweh been Yahweh. From the nation of Yahweh,
YahwehRadio.com.
So glad I'm with Yahweh.
YahwehRadio.com.
step on into
YahwehRadio.com.
Let nobody
turn me away from Yahweh.
YahwehRadio.com.
Yahweh ben Yahweh is a great God and a great King above
YahwehRadio.com.
You they worthy is truly God. Yeah.
Yahweh Virtual University has completed its beta phase. We are so thankful to Yahweh for all of our supporters because we could not have done it without you. We are excited to say that our beta phase was a true success. Those that participated in our beta testing enjoyed self-paced and interactive learning online, live online classes with our YVU teachers, assistance with structuring and setting up their homeschool. Our students had so much fun learning with their classmates, and they enjoyed daily homework and so much more. During our beta phase, we gathered useful information and feedback from all of you. According to the needs of our children and our nation as a whole, we received a large amount of requests for online learning to support children between the ages of 8 and 15, as well as online classes for parents and adults. We at Yahweh Virtual University heard you loud and clear. In order to provide these much needed requests, and because we are a small team, we have paused our online classes for now and are back in our building phase. Again, we are truly thankful to all of our supporters, and we want you to know that we are taking this duty to rescue our future very seriously. Please visit our website for more updates and be blessed. Praise Yahweh forever.
Well, praise Yahweh. It is always good to see and to know what's going on in our nation, and that there's a lot going on, and there's a lot going on that we don't have room enough to mention all that's going on. Otherwise, this will be just a big commercial. The whole show will be just a big commercial, but it's not a big commercial. We tell you what's going on, and every day more and more is happening with the nation of Yahweh. As the true children of Yahweh come together, then it's a big shaking going on. It's a controversy going on because there's a train of thought that is recessive, and there's a train of thought that is progressive. And the progressive people have to make sure we come together and keep moving forward. The people who want to move backwards or want to stay in a place, I'm sorry, we just have to leave you behind. If you don't want to go to heaven, I'm not staying in hell with you. You know, I'm not going to keep you company in hell and not go on. I'm going to try my best to convince you to come on, let's go. But at the end of the day, there are those who don't really want to go. They don't want to do what it takes to go to heaven. Well, Yahweh ben Yahweh said that our enemy is adamantly against Yahweh ben Yahweh teaching us how to move from poverty to riches. So the enemy was so against our Father teaching us that, giving us that ability, that they made all kinds of, lies. They got all the people who didn't want to go to heaven, and they got people to lie and to manipulate and to do all kinds of things so that future children of Yahweh will look at us and say, y'all with that, what happened, y'all with that cult or whatever they want to, how it's portrayed today, because still today, the enemy is out there putting out lies about the nation of Yahweh. And the nation of Yahweh, we over here quiet, doing our own thing, not messing with anybody. And they still want to cast doubt in the minds of the children of Yahweh to come into the nation of Yahweh. But the reason, Yahweh ben Yahweh told us the reason, is because they know he is able. They know that the most honorable, Yahweh ben Yahweh, is able to resurrect Abel. They know that. They know he have the power to resurrect that ability in us. The resurrection of Abel. You can go on our YouTube channel and find a long series about that. You can go on my TikTok channel and find a long series where Yahweh ben Yahweh is teaching the resurrection of Abel. Right now, this day, he's teaching the world how he resurrected Abel. Now it's up to Abel to show forth our ability through our works. Yeah, that's a controversy too. Because, you got a train of thought that nobody's works should be greater than Yahweh ben Yahweh. And then you got Yahweh ben Yahweh telling us, greater works ye shall do. Well, I'm unapologetic about going with Yahweh ben Yahweh's command. Greater work we shall do, as opposed to going with a train of thought that nobody could supersede the works of Yahweh ben Yahweh. No, it's not superseding anything. It's following his instructions. He came, he demonstrated to not only the children of Yahweh, us, but to the world that he is able and he have the power to build something from nothing. And he built something from nothing in the ghetto with ghetto-minded people. This is his words, with the downtrodden people. He built using his only resource, Judah. And he accomplished that. Then he took it all away, every brick, every stone, every piece of it. He took it away and told us, greater works ye shall do. And so now you got those two different mindsets that is opposing, that's the controversy within the nation of Yahweh. Those mindsets that are fearful and moving forward and doing the works that we are commanded to do, and those ones kicking and screaming and trying to move forward with all their energy and all their heart, their soul, their mind, their bodies, trying to move forward and do what is commanded of us. What is the whole duty of man? I posted a video of Yahweh ben Yahweh teaching us the whole duty of the followers of Yahweh. You got to take a chance and watch that video. It's just part one, but watch it. What is our whole duty? See, we have to make sure that we uphold and we fulfill our duty to be a follower of Yahweh. See, you're not known by your words. You're known by your works. Even with the Lamb, and say he's opening up the book to see whose name written in the book. Your name is written in the book through your works. Name ain't written in the book because it's just magic. It's magical. It just appears. One day you open the book and your name is there. No, that ain't how it happens. And they open up the books, they see what you do, what you've done, your works. And so it's in our best interest to allow the most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh to resurrect the the ability that is in us. They took him away physically. They locked him in the tomb. And he gained victory over that great death of being in the worst prison America had to offer. And guess what? The light still shines. I remember sitting in the auditorium. My ears as big as Ferengis. Anyway, another subject. My ears just listening to my father speak the royal priesthood and speak that message about Lila, night, what we suffered, and being motivated to do something then. So every word that he said, go to your city, spread this word, publish the name. That was my commandment. And so here we are today, publishing the name. But just like the YouTube videos say, we need everybody, we need Judah, help. We need all of us who are progressive to pool our resources consistently. You know, if you give $1 every year, well, in about 1,000 years, we might build something. But if you gave $1 every day, well, we'll be able to build something very, very soon. See, and I've heard the message about transparency. I've heard that message about making sure everybody knows what's going on. So we're broadcasting various things like in our commercial production about We're developing different things, building a nation building institute where we can all come together and be on one accord with our cooperation. We're building, we had grants program that we're giving grants to citizens of the nation of Yahweh to help their businesses stay in business. You know how hard it is for a beginning business to stay in business, but it's just as hard for a seasoned business to stay in business. And we always need help. When you think about it, the reason we need help is because we already operating from a deficit. Nobody wants to shop and do business with us, especially our own family. Jewish people are not going to do business with us. They do business with each other. And most groups of people, Asian people, do business with Asians. Most groups of people do business with their own people. We're the only group of people on the planet who reject doing business with ourselves. We'll go to anybody else's business and spend money. But when it comes to our Black brothers and sisters' businesses, we scrutinize, we find things wrong, and we look for things that they don't have so that we can have an excuse not to spend our money with them. And this has been an ongoing thing since the turn of the century, with the Pan-African movement, and how when the enemy turned against you, it seemed like all the people get scared and they scurry away from you. When a tragedy happens, when you really need to stand together as a family, lack of information make people speculate and move on, and I don't know if I want to deal, I don't want to be a part of it, I don't want to help those people, they don't look like, we always look for excuses why not to do something in unity with our people. Everybody openly is against us, but we scrutinize us way more than we scrutinize the people that we know are against us, all other nations. The conspiracy of why it's the world's best kept secret, our true history, our true culture is the world's best kept secret. So they know the secret and they keep it secret so Abel won't be resurrected in you.
Yes,
and those
sir.
are the people you want to be among. Those are the people you want to spend your money with. Those are the people you'll buy their product without even reading the ingredients. But when we develop a product, is it good? Did y'all make sure? All kinds of excuses. Well, I consider that the two different generations. You got that Moses generation that will die in the wilderness. And you got that Joshua generation, which will take and conquer and kill these giants and go to that strong tower that is the name of Yahweh and be safe, be righteous, gonna run into that strong tower and be safe.
Yes, sir.
We're not worried about it because we have Yahweh as our protection. And we moving forward to kill every giant that Yahweh tell us to kill. We going to claim the land that Yahweh has given to us. He gave us the whole planet. And right now it's for sale. And all we have to do is come together and build, move forward, going into the promised land. We'd have made our exodus. Now we wander around in a circle, waiting on that Moses generation, that Moses mindset of the people that couldn't go into the promised land was not allowed because they would not change their wicked ways of Egypt. They will not change their manipulative ways and their what they learned in Egypt, how to act, how to be. If you don't change that, you can't go into New Jerusalem. You can't even go into the promised land. And it's up to you to change that mindset. It's up to you to really dig down deep in yourself and see that Yahweh has a plan for you. And it's not to be disruptive or regressive or any, it's to go and claim our inheritance. It seems like Sister Tamara, you trying to come on in. I know I've been talking.
Yes, sir. I was trying to get in, but I didn't want to cut your flow because you was flowing.
Yes, ma'am.
Praise Yahweh and family. As Brother Lou shared earlier, I am away, so there may be a little bit of background noise, and I hope my audio is coming through clearly.
So far, so good.
Praise Yahweh. Brother, you are right on point. And I thank Yahweh for these messages, these constant reminders of what our work is, and him bringing up Hosea 4:6 is really relevant to some energies that are resonating today, because people lack knowledge. Our people are destroyed. And it's time out for that. It's time for the truth speakers to stand up for righteousness and speak the truth. Tell the truth of Yahweh. Demonstrate the knowledge that Yahweh ben Yahweh embedded in our minds and our hearts and our souls, so that the true children of Yahweh shall stand up together as one and be that mighty army that Yahweh has manifested. It's time. It's time. I thank Yahweh ben Yahweh for bringing us into this high holy season that we are embarking, because here in a few days, about 14 days, we're going to be at the memorial blowing the trumpets. And then soon after that, we're going to be in our Day of Atonement. And then after that, our Feast of Tabernacles. And we really, at this point in history, family, have a decision to make. We have a decision on whether or not we're going to be at one with Yahweh and overcome our fears, our hesitations, the things that have challenged us in moving ahead and being that greater work. It's one thing for us to actually go out there and say we doing the will of Yahweh. But when you wake up every day and you live in the knowledge of Yahweh, your energies are about Yahweh, you are that greater work. And so we got to stand up and demonstrate that and not be afraid or operate in fear. Fear is our enemy. It's the opposite of faith. And so I just thank the Honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh for continuing to encourage us, continuing to tell us the truth so that we can be those truth tellers, because this is that day. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. It is that day. And what day it is for us, it's a reckoning. It's like, you're training for this big fight, this big MMA fight against the worst devil fighter in the world. And you've been training and you're training and you're training and you're training. But today is the day of the fight. And you're walking down to that, in the arena, down to that ring, and you're stepping into that ring. And then now it's time for all of that, what you practice and all of that stuff. It's time to put it into action. It's time to let it out. Well, that's what time it is now. All of your studying, and some of us been studying for 30, 40 years. Literally studying for 30 or 40 years. I know I've been studying for 32 years personally, myself. It's time for us to put that into action. It's time for us to not be in the shadows, because we're not hiding anything. Yahweh ben Yahweh didn't hide. He published the name all over. It wasn't a hidden thing. It was for the world to see him resurrect us. And what we are doing shows his power if we are doing what he commanded us to do.
And we can't do that hiding.
No,
the knowledge of Yahweh has to be manifested across the globe, family. Yahweh has done the work of publishing the name. And in last week's message, Yahweh ben Yahweh shared that that's our duty. That's our work, is to publish the name Yahweh. And we not only do that through writing books, we not only do that through testifying of the glory of Yahweh, we do that also through our everyday lives. Every day,
living it.
What we live the name. We have to walk in the name Yahweh on a daily basis. And so the publishing of the name is really demonstrating to the world who had been deprived. Remember, everybody, his children lacked the knowledge. And so there are some of us who were chosen to be that beacon of light for those who seek the truth. And those of us who understand and know, we accept the mission. And nothing on this planet can stop us from glorifying the name Yahweh.
Well, when you think about it, nothing can run off the children of Yahweh. You know, you had this controversy where Yahweh ben Yahweh put to rest what he said. And I played the video and published the video of him saying about, you know, what is the Shabbat and the solar time, and, you know, big controversy because people like to choose to have some reason. They need an excuse why they don't want to be a part of somebody else, or why they don't want to come together. We that's just typical of our people in that slave mindset, how we make excuses when it comes to coming together with each other, but we go and beg to come together with anybody else. We beg them, please let us be a part of your organization. Please, you know, we want to fill out an application and we want to be part of what you're doing. But what we're doing, we don't want to have no part of doing it ourselves. We don't want to have no part in accepting our responsibility and our duty to Yahweh. And it's time for us to step up and accept our duty to Yahweh. And it's also time for Power Talk. So it is that time for us to ask our family if you want to join into this conversation. This conversation is deep. This conversation is, Yahweh ben Yahweh started out with saying the enemy don't want him to teach us how to move from poverty to riches. Now he's taught us. Now what's stopping us from moving from poverty to riches? We are. We're stopping ourselves with that old paradigm of Egypt that have to die out of our mind. The Moses generation is in your mind, and it has to die out. The old ways of America has to die out in your mind. Can't trust none of these entities. They're the tree of good and evil. You can get some good from it, but if you try,
the evil gonna be there.
the evil gonna be right there too. And if you get too much good, you done got some of the evil.
Mm-hmm. Well, family, it is, as Brother Lou shared, time for Power Talk. I believe our family should be able to, if you're on the Zoom, to unmute yourselves through hitting that microphone. If you're dialed in, I believe you can hit *6 to unmute yourself. Definitely text us in the chat if there's some difficulties, but we want to hear Yahweh's truth coming from you. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
Oh, all right. We do have a caller.
Praise Yahweh. Shalom, family. This is Sister Yokabed Sarah Yisrael.
Well,
Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Power Talk.
Praise Yahweh. Shabbat Shalom, family. I am so excited and happy to be here. I'm traveling, so if you hear a little bit of background noise, just know what's going on. But I just want you all to understand something very important that Yahweh B'Yahweh mentioned in what he spoke of earlier. He said, the world, we are languishing. The world is languishing. What is he saying? What is languish? Languish in the freedictionary.com online very quickly is to decline, waste away, fade away, wither away, weaken, wilt, and sicken. This is a condition when you're weak. What does that want? What does a weak person do? Does a weak person speak out? Can a weak person fight for what's right? Can a weak person defend what they believe in? No. When you're wasting away, fading away, in decline, where are your abilities? Yahweh ben Yahweh is in the process of resurrecting able-bodied people, able minds, when you're able, you are not afraid to speak out. You're not afraid to tell the truth. You're not afraid to let the world know of your condition. Why? Because you're determined to make it better. You're on the hunt for making your condition and your desires met. And what needs to be done for Yahweh is your exclusive duty, and you're going to fight for it no matter what, family. Look at what's the opposite of to languish. The opposite of to languish is to thrive, to flourish, to bloom and prosper. Family, when a plant, or should I say when a seed is planted, that seed on its own cannot thrive and flourish and bloom. That seed on its, by planting it in the dirt, first of all, it needs the nourishment from the soil. It needs the sunlight. It needs water. It needs a whole family group working together to actually sprout, bloom, become a plant, a little plant, and then to become a tree. Even that seed itself knows within itself, if you sit it on a counter and let it dry out right there, it has what it needs. It has everything within it to produce that major tree. But guess what? You have to add the rest of it. You have to add all the nutrients. See, even in creation, in nature, Yahweh shows us that nothing will thrive and flourish and bloom by itself. So guess what? My mind, with what I believe on my own, or what should be done on its own, is not going to thrive if I don't pull in the knowledge from my family, if I don't pull in the wisdom from my family, if I don't pull in the love from my family. If any of us are in need, if any of us are in need, and I apologize for the background noise. If any of us are in need and we are not wise enough to call for our family to help us, to guide us, to direct us, we are languishing, wasting away, and declining to do what Yahweh gave us to do, family. Let's go to some scriptures. Just a couple of scriptures. Jeremiah 14:2, Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. Isaiah 19:8, the fishers also shall mourn, and all they that cast angle out into the brooks shall lament, and they that spread nets upon the waters shall languish. Therefore shall this is Hosea 4:3, therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish with the beasts of the field and with the fowls of heaven. Yea, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away. Family, the land, as we all know, is mourning, but Yahweh said, as the world goes down in unrighteousness and wickedness, the righteous people of this earth are going to rise up. Yahweh gave us everything we need to flourish and bloom, but we cannot do it individually. We cannot do it by ourselves. We will come together and make Yahweh proud to be the bridegroom of Israel once again. Thank you, family, for letting me share. Love you all so much. Praise Yahweh. Shalom, shalom.
Praise Yahweh. I thank Yahweh for sharing through you
Praise Yahweh.
the knowledge in which you just spoken, because that's exactly what I'm talking about. All of us can help publish the name. We can have the biggest publishing company on the planet with your help. Without your help, we struggle. You know, right now, Yahweh Radio is struggling, and we thank all of the subscribers to Yahweh Radio, all of the nation builders that subscribe to Yahweh Radio, but we need help. We need more. The subscribers right now barely keeps the radio station on the air, but it's on the air 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, promoting Yahweh, publishing the name Yahweh, Yahweh music, which we know how powerful music is. We got Our True History playing every day at noon for 2 hours of Our True History. Lesson number 1, 2, 3, 4 of Our True History is being broadcasted internationally, all over the planet, every single day at noon. And to help publish the name is to support Yahweh Radio. Even if you're having issues, because I know that some of us who are not little children, not that versed in using interface and emails and cyber stuff and internet stuff, and sometimes it's hard. But at the same time, we have Netflix, and when something happens, the power go out and we need to get back into Netflix, we make sure we get back in. We had to call our grandchildren or whatever it is to help us get in. So that's what I was talking about, those excuses that we use when it comes to our own businesses, that we police ourselves, or I'm not going back there. I went there and they were closed. You don't care that it's a sole proprietorship and his mother died that day and he had to close up and run or whatever. You don't care about that. You just care that I went there, he was closed, so I'm never going back. I'll just keep going to the Koreans who follow me around the store, look at me, call me names in their language right in front of me, and all of these things that we know happen to us, but we still go and spend money with them. One little thing that we disagree or bad taste we get with a black business or our brothers and sisters, we don't want to support them no more. We think it's over. They made one mistake and they don't deserve no mercy, no grace. And what Yahweh say today on the message, knowing that he come with mercy. Controversy in the land because there's no mercy. He comes with mercy. There's no truth. He comes with the truth. There's no knowledge of Yahweh. He came publishing the name, and he raised up disciples that are continuing his work and will bring his work to a triumphant conclusion. That's what he said is the royal priesthood, people who take up this scepter that he passed to us. Listen to the royal priesthood. He passed it to us and said it's our responsibility to bring his works to a triumphant conclusion. And he said, greater physical works we shall do. He said that's the easy part, getting a few buildings and rehabbing them, and that's the easy part. But see, the thing about it is, it has to be a group effort. When one people are giving their all, and some people are giving a few pennies, then it won't work. It just don't work that way. We need a group of people giving their all for this to work. Praise Yahweh. We do have, it is Power Talk. So anybody is welcome to join into this conversation before it get too late. Like right now, you can express your mind without worried about how long you got. But in a few minutes, it'll be, you got to go quick. So if you like to join the conversation, don't hesitate to unmute yourself or to press the *69 or whatever it is. What is it, Sister Tamar?
Shalom.
Oh, okay. Well, we do have a caller. Caller with your line unmuted. You are live on Power Talk. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, families. Brother Gabriel Israel. And I wrote something in the comments that I wanted to make sure that everybody gets, because I know not everybody's in the comments. But it was mentioned earlier about greater works ye shall do. And if you don't believe this, then you are not of the ye that Abba is mentioning. Ye could also mean as a collective of the one God, one mind, one love, one action. Together can surely accomplish this. Another thing is there isn't a time limit on a when ye shall do greater. So depending on your perspective and the way you think, it surely can be accomplished and a lot easier than people may think. When you first look at it, greater works that ye shall do. Yeah, that's hard to think of not taking in a penny and building an economic empire and having it only go to other people. That's huge. It's hard to do, but it's not as a collective. We can definitely do it as a collective. And if we follow the formula, he gave us formulas. If we follow the formulas, instead of being individuals, we can absolutely accomplish this. And I'm excited to see it happen with you, family. I love you, Ania Hope. Thank you for allowing me to share. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. Yahweh know what to say. I thank Yahweh for speaking through you. It is time. The soldiers will stand up. We'll come together. We'll dedicate their life to this work. Praise Yahweh. Do we have another caller? I'm not. Sister Tamar is not in the studio today, and she is our resident technician. So I need to figure out what I'm doing here. Okay, I see a hand raised. Sister with your hand raised, that might be you.
That's Sister Kaggy. Sister, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. You are now live on Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hey.
Welcome to Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. Just glad to be here. Small comment. Yahweh ben Yahweh, like Brother Gabriel said, gave the formula. And there is another class that I remember from when I was younger. Yahweh ben Yahweh said we're going to be limited only to our imagination and what we can do through His name, of course. And for years and years, and I must have been so small when I first heard it. And for me, imagination, like in my mind as a child, like imagination is endless. Like you can imagine some of anything. And for us, if we can imagine us doing it, we can do it. And greater works is because He's cloning Himself. If we are Him, can you imagine 144,000 of Him? Like together? It's almost when I think about it, it's almost insane. To just stop for a second and think about that. Just one of Him and the works He did, and then multiplied by 144,000. That's gonna be amazing. I'm excited. I'm eager. Sometimes I feel like I myself am moving so slow and there's never enough that I can do. But we're getting the works done. It's happening right before our eyes. I'm proud of us, I'm here for it, and I'm just thankful Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. And I thought that Star Trek reference earlier. That was funny. Praise Yahweh, family.
Praise Yahweh. I thank Yahweh for your comment. I think that what you said, is Genesis, what is it, 11:6, where the people are one and this they begin to do. Now, whatever they imagine to do cannot be held back from us, restrained from us. It's like, if we can imagine 144,000 Yahweh ben Yahwehs, the earth is ours. If you imagine 144,000 Yahweh ben Yahwehs all around the earth doing that work, gathering that wealth, guiding us to that sovereignty, the whole earth will be free from evil. I do a little posting on social media, and I have a over 55 workout channel on Instagram. And I post different pictures. Like the other day, I posted an AI picture of myself aged with a long gray beard. And I said, me 100 years into the future after destroying all the evil off the planet. Well, after that time, just can we imagine when the evil is gone off the planet? There's no evil on this planet. Can you imagine being fed by the tree of life and living like we lived back in the day, but not 1,000 years, but living eternally? Most people can't wrap their head around eternal life. They accept death as part of life. But I know a few of my brothers that didn't have to face death. And if they can do it, why can't we? When they say when the sun comes, it's over. It's over. The devil is barely holding on with a toenail, trying to tell you that he's a man when he's a woman, or he's a woman when he's a man. He's so crazy out, whacked out right now that he can't stand for very long. In our lifetimes, we can see the destruction. We will see, if you live long enough and you open your eyes, you'll see the destruction of the devil. It's almost over for him. You know, with things like other nations coming together and rejecting the dollar, that's revelations. You know, there's all this things that's happening. And Yahweh ben Yahweh has risen. Can't you see he is risen right now? It ain't for him to be here in the flesh. His word is stronger than any flesh could ever be. But the body of Yahweh have to get off our butts and get to work, got to come together and sacrifice. Just like we did back in the early days of building a nation. Sacrifice, come together, pool resources, pool talents. You know, if everybody go get a job and put it in one pot, you know, and lived homeless in a tent for 2 years. And, you know, that's drastic. And Yahweh won't cause us to have to do that. But that's just, we can accomplish all kinds of goals. It just depends on what we're willing to do. And we do have another caller. Caller with your line unmuted, I think, ending in 9527. You're live on Power Talk.
That's me, but Dr. Lou, this is Brother Amon. Shalom, shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Welcome to Power Talk.
Just kind of like to kind of piggyback on that one of the last statements that, you know, a lot of people have really bought into this death part, but just on a physical level, you know, the body is designed to continuously reproduce itself. It wasn't designed to die. It constantly reproducing itself. And when we put the right things in the body, that's why we need to have our own everything. But when we're putting the right foods in our physical body and the right foods in our mind, it's designed to constantly reproduce itself. It wasn't designed to die. You know, we kind of, people have bought into, well, it's all right to die because, you know, you think heaven up in the sky. And actually, we praying every day, let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And well, if you understand that there's no death in heaven, then he's saying, let thy will, we're praying, let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. You can't separate the two because it's the same. And when we understand heaven is a state of mind, then we're the ones that's going to create heaven right here on earth. But in a part of overcoming the world is also one of the biggest challenges for me talking to people is overcoming this physical death. And we hear Yahweh always say he gave up his physical body so that we can live. And there are no limits to that. But just wanted to say that and join the call. Thank you so much. Continue to have a wonderful Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. That's exactly what we're talking about here, is that we have to, the tree of life is among us. If you eat from the tree of life, you have eternal life. See, and that's the key. Eating from the tree of life only. That's the key to eternal life. But if we continue to eat from the tree of good and evil, then we die. We can't progress. We can't move on. The tree of good and evil is leading us to death and destruction, even though he gives us some good. You know, he does some good things. We know about, you know, we'll fund some HBCUs. We'll give a few tokens, reparation. Oh, no, we can't give y'all no money to get free, but we'll give y'all some tokens. We'll give you welfare. We'll give you food stamps. We'll give you $700 after your whole island burn up, one-time payment. Wow. Get this, immigrants from Afghanistan and from Ukraine getting $2,200 a month from the government. But the people of America, the people who lost everything in the fire, you give them a one-time payment of $700? Are we going to let this evil stay on this planet? This evil has got to go. That's just how it is. And ain't you glad that Yahweh is destroying this evil? Aren't you glad that Yahweh gave us a separate mission? It's not for us to pick up guns and knives and forks and go hunt down demons and devils and go kill them, you know, like in the mythical TV shows, hunting these demons and got to go and fight them and kill them and vanquish them and all that. No, that's not for us to do. They killing each other physically, but they plan will never work. Yahweh said he will visit them to their face. He didn't say he gonna bring us to come cut their heads off or nothing like that. So this ain't a physical war for us. It's a spiritual war. The war of Armageddon takes place in our minds with this tree of life or tree of good and evil. We so used to the tree of good and evil that we think we can indulge in the good and not have the consequences of the evil. And that's not true. You can play with Satan. You can get in bed with him and say, I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm gonna keep my clothes on. I'm just gonna get in bed with you. And that's just not realistic. You get in bed with him, or you're gonna get dealt with. And you know what I'm talking about. But the tree of life, there's nothing about that. There's nothing you have to be concerned with being wrong or bad. You know, when Yahweh grows food, there's nothing wrong with it, the way he grow it. When the devil grow food, he got to genetically modify and engineer different things, and he had to put all kinds of pesticides and all kinds of growth hormones and everything he can to get stuff to grow. One is death, the other is life.
That's
Seems
right.
like we have somebody unmuted.
Yes, sir.
Got a call? Okay. All right. Go ahead, Sister Tamar.
Praise Yahweh. This has been just having this conversation today has really been uplifting and just encouraging. And I hope all of our family is feeling encouraged today because we know and we understand the truth of Yahweh shall prevail throughout the land. I mean, right now we see that the land is languishing, but we have the answer. We have the solution. The solution is in our motto: one God, one mind, one love, and one answer. One God, one mind, one love, and one action. And so it's up to us to be in accord with that directive. That wasn't just a motto for us to actually pretend to be about it, to act like we're about it. That was a directive for us to actually use and utilize to make a change in the land that we're in all the lands, and all the planet. That's our directive, is to be at one with the will of our Father. And the more that we continue to find things that keep us apart, we are diametrically opposed to the will of Yahweh. Stop trying to find reasons for us to be separated. Stop trying to find reasons for us to not be together. As we move into this season of atoning and being at one, let's do that. It's time, family. It is time. And I just thank Yahweh for continuing to give us this knowledge, this information, as he shared in the scripture that we discussed, Hosea 4:6. You know, that lack of knowledge is the path in the course to destruction. Families, we have to stop it. We have to end that. We have to be ones for the truth and providing that knowledge. Praise Yahweh.
That's right. You got to be the moral behavior attributes, and that is honest and open and straightforward. And we can go on good. We can go on with that, but Sister Tamar, you kind of gave the final thoughts. The lack of knowledge means our destruction. My children are destroyed for lack of knowledge. We cannot be gatekeepers of knowledge and prevail over our conditions. See, the war with ourselves, we're going to lose the war with yourself, because the devil's going, whether you go or stay, or you go into the promised land, or you die off in the hell that, in your mind, that's in your mind, that's really your choice. And we choose Yahweh. See, we have on lock that one God, Yahweh, one mind, Yahweh, one love, Yahweh, one action, 15 million different directions. Where's the one action? Where's the one directive, one direction, one directive at a time? Let's make one accomplishment at a time. Well, coming into this season, and I only have a few seconds before we have to close out, coming into this high holy season of the Feast of Tabernacles, coming up on the Day of Atonement, and the memorial blowing of trumpets, which the memorial blowing of trumpets is for us to remember. It's the warning to remember the tree of life. The Day of Atonement is for us to be at one with the tree of life. In the ingathering is for us to, all of the children of Yahweh, to gather together and gather our resources, pool them together, and be wealthy. When the devil falls, we just go in and clean up. We got brooms, we got enough money to buy brooms and shovels and to clean up his mess. And then it's our planet. Praise Yahweh. That is the final thought. And this brings us to the end of this episode of Unfolding Light. So praise Yahweh. That brings us to the end of this episode of the Unfolding Light. Please join us next week for another episode of the Unfolding Light. And now, if everybody will stand and face the east with outstretched hand, as we close out this episode with a prayer, the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Tefillah. Avenu Shabbat Shemayim, Yikadesh Shemeaka, Tavo Makuteraka, Yad Zerizonka, Kim Bashamayim Kain Ba'aretz, Et Lekum Kukenu, Tain Lanu Hayom, Uslat Lanu, All Kartienu, Kimosa Sol King, Gamanatnu, Lakotiem Lanu, Veal Tevienu, Lade Nisayom, King Kal Senu, Min Hara, Kilaka, Hamamlaha, Veha Givera, Veha Tefieret, Leolame, Olamin Sila. We thank thee, O Yahweh, O living and eternal King, who has so mercifully restored our souls within us. So let everything that has breath praise Yahweh. And always remember, Yahweh loves you, Yahweh Ben Yahweh loves you, and so does the nation of Yahweh. Shabbat Shalom, family.
Thank you for joining the Unfolding Light, presented by the Nation of Yahweh. If you have any comments or questions, please email us at info at thenationofyhwh.com. Follow us online at thenationofyahweh.com, theunfoldinglight.com, and at yahwehbenyahweh.biz. Get social with us. Follow the Nation of Yahweh on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, do remember to pay Yahweh and yourselves first and don't touch it, as instructed by the Honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh. You can send your tithes, donations, and offerings to the Nation of Yahweh at P.O. Box 555-115, Orlando, Florida 32855. And be blessed continually, according to Malachi chapter 3, verse 10. Praise Yahweh. Shalom, shalom.
Stop your crying. Stop your crying. It's gonna be alright. Stop your lying, children. It's gonna be alright. Stop worrying. Stop this worrying going on. It's gonna be alright, man. Cause you see, Yahweh Ben Yahweh is here now. Well, he's a man with a wonderful, wonderful life. You'll be praying all night long. Well, cause you see, you don't know if you're going to get up in the morning now and lose your home. Well, cause you see, I got all these children going on now, and I don't want them to starve. And that's why you got to go and bow down to somebody who ain't God. A man on your job, well, yeah. The mighty God is here now. The Son, I'm talking about the Son, Yahweh, Ben Yahweh. So you can quit all this foolishness and going on, because we living in a brand new day. Well, stop your moaning, it's gonna be alright. Stop your groaning, children, it's gonna be alright. Have no more kids. But you see, Yahweh when Yahweh came round about on this time, it short our years. Well, stop your begging. It's time to do your part. And quit being lazy, my children. That it's time to stop. Stop doing what you want to do. Stop doing the things you supposed to do. Get up off of your knees and be so good. Study real hard because he said you know you could. Well, be the way he wants you to be because he said he know you can. He want all the sisters to join together and be woman and all the brothers to be man. And I know that everything is gonna be alright. Well, early in the morning, it's gonna be alright. I wanna tell you that sometimes you get lonely in the evening time. Just call his name.